You are into a life-transforming experience as Pastor Prince Abah brings you God's Word with deep insight and power. God bless you.
So you see all these things I've used as illustration now. No one designed itself. They had people who designed them, and their function is determined by the man who designed it. You function contrary to who you are. You see me and everything I'm doing. This is how God programs me to function. My biggest joy in this world, in my lifetime, is that I'm functioning according to prescription. I'm operating according to divine purpose, according to divine plan, according to divine reason. Woe betide you that you're meant to be a builder of men, and you are building blocks in Dangote Cement Company. Woe betide you, you're supposed to be whatever in the kingdom, and then you are something else. You know, it's a great loss for people to misplace the priority of who they are, misplace themselves. You go through life trying to find it, trying to find who you are, and then, do you know people who have died don't know who they really were? A lot of them. In the evening, I'll play you a video that will inspire you. You will see. Make sure you don't miss that video. You will see how people can die and go back to heaven, and then they will be so disappointed. Even heaven will be so disappointed how they live their lives. Knowledge of who you are. Then now knowledge of principles. Remember I told you first, knowledge of God. Is that okay? Because that's the man who determines your purpose. You're his product. Don't you know that? You think you're your own product. You think you're the product of Charles Darwin's evolution. You think you're the product of your father and your mother. You're not the product of your father and your mother. You're the product of God. He created you in his own image and likeness. He formed you. He told Jeremiah, he said, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. What that means is that I'm the one who put you there. That's why most parents who are claiming ownership of their children don't know what they are doing. You don't own your children, sir. You don't own your children, ma. You didn't create any of them. That you cooked rice doesn't mean you produced the rice. Hello? And you have a water plant. You do sachet water, bottled water. It doesn't mean you manufacture water. You are not the manufacturer of water. You can be selling water. You say, my water factory. Which one is your water factory? Do you own the water? You can have a factory that packages water, but you don't own the water. What you own is factory. Remove water from it. Because God manufactured water. He produced the water. We are only packaging it and selling and making money out of it. That's the thing. That's the way you are to your parents. Your parents are just caretakers. That's who parents are. That's who you guys. That's who you are. You are caretakers of your children. Don't be deceived. So that you don't possess them and hold them to ransom from fulfilling what God wants them to fulfill in their life. You're going to give account to God when you appear before Him. When before Samuel was born, Hannah was praying, Lord, child, now child. Yes, no baby. Child, Lord, give me child. No baby. Yes, the thing kept going like that until she changed her prayer point. What did she say that made God respond now? He said, Lord, if you give me this child, he's going to be a priest unto you. Because now you have prayed according to my will. Now you have prayed according to purpose. Because I'm not giving you a child because you want to, the purpose of having a child is not to own a child. It's to be a caretaker of God's product. It's to help nurture this product to be able to function according to His design. Knowledge of God leads to the knowledge of who you are. When you know God, you begin to gain insights and knowledge of your person, because the Bible says, for I'm hidden in what? Christ. And Christ in what? In God. So you see, where do you come from? You come from Christ. And then you are inside the loins of Christ. But Christ is inside God. Hello? Can I shock you? If your grandfather had died before your father was born, you wouldn't have been born. I don't think you heard that. Should I increase the volume? Please, is this so hard to understand? Can you open your heart and your ears and your spirit to understand? Lift up your hand and say, Father, give me insight. Lift up your hand. Can you say that? Say, Father, give me insight. Give me foresight. Give me comprehensive ability. Give me comprehension ability. Give me understanding of everything Pastor is saying now. Say, open my eyes, Lord, that I may behold wondrous things in your word. Think about it. If your grandfather had died before your father was born, you wouldn't have been here. I need 3 young men to come here now. Let me show you how it is. 3 young men. Just 3. Be fast, Face me and stand on the same line. No line like this, but face me. Face me. Mm-hmm. See what God is saying by that scripture. This is God here. This is Jesus here. This is you here. So God is saying your origin is not from your father and your mother. Your father, your mother is not your origin. Your father and your mother are your channels. They are the channels God used to bring you here. Origin is something that has original ability to create. That's why it's called origin. Origin means original. What is your origin? That's original. Some of you say your origin of easy, origin of that's not even your origin. If you start tracing your real origin now, you'll be so shocked. Some of you are even, maybe your grandfather, great-great-grandfather is even Ham. Maybe some of you, your great-great-grandfather is even Lot. Some of you, maybe your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, your real origin, you'll be so shocked. It's even maybe Pharaoh or Nebuchadnezzar. God forbid. That's why some people are wicked though. Go and check. They're coming from Nebuchadnezzar's lineage. You check some other people, maybe they are coming from Herod's lineage. You never can tell. So wicked. So we will never ever embrace their lineage is tailored to betray people. Judas' lineage. Some people betrayer. No matter what you do for them, they will hurt you. They will betray you. Go and check. Maybe it's the children from the lineage of the son of perdition. Even Jesus' lineage was traced now. The genealogy of Jesus. Abraham has lineage. You go and check all these things. Anyway, you may not be able to go so far, but at least go and check your immediate. Check your own father. Check your grandfather. Then check your great-great-grandfather. Your great-grandfather. I think that's 4 generations now. At least check 4 generations and see what is inside. We'll do talk on that some other time. Go and check the kind of people we produce in this family. Are they fully full? So are they human beings? Check. Do they die young or do they check? Are they rich people? Are they poor people? In this lineage, are they hot-tempered people? Are they womanizers? Are they prostitutes? Are they criminals? Occultic men? Go and check the lineage. So when you go and check, you look at yourself now, you see, what's happening to you is not about you. It's something that is traveling through bloodline. That's why the Bible says we are engrafted in God. We are engrafted in Christ. Because when Jesus died, He unplanted us from our own, whatever you call origin, and He now planted us into God's own foundation, origin. Well, I said that just to say what I said. But in this context, see how you are. This is God. This is Jesus. This is you. So now God's word is coming to you this morning to let you know that He didn't come from your parents. He said, I am hidden in Christ and Christ in God. What it means is you were hidden in your father, but your father was inside your grandfather. So if they had killed your grandfather here, they would have killed this man and also killed this one. And even everything that is behind this one. So when you kill one man, you didn't kill one person, you killed a generation. You killed a whole, you killed people who should have been traveling from that lineage. That's why murder is a serious thing. Murder is not just the taking of somebody's life alone. It's the closing of the doors on other people who should have come through that guy. Many people. If my grandfather had died maybe maybe my father had died in the Civil War. This one perhaps is alive. But if this one had died, this one can't come. So you are inside Jesus. But even Jesus himself is inside God. You are inside Jesus, but even Jesus is inside God. Usually when I teach people the law of life, long life, I tell them that whatever cannot kill God can kill me. Whatever can kill Jesus can kill me because I'm inside that lineage. That's why I'm hidden. That's revelation for another day. But get it here and get it now. Your origin is here. That's why you now need knowledge of where you're coming from. A lot of people can have knowledge of their paternal origin, earthly origin. As good as that is, go and know your heavenly origin. That's your real origin. In this family, we produce doctors, we produce this. Do you know there are families that have people? Okay, like you go to hospital for instance, and then doctor is actually telling doctor, I want twins. The doctor will tell you there's no drug for twins. He will ask you a very pertinent paternal question or maternal question. What they usually ask is, in your family, do you have people who have been giving birth to twins? It has been stated that it's not possible to give birth to twins if it's not running in your line. So it is easy to predict twinship or whatever. Just check the history of that woman. Maybe the sisters, or check the mother, or check the grandmother, check the whatever. If there's a history of twins in that family, it's usually easy. If you ask a twin woman, a woman who has given birth to twin, say, are you the first who gave birth to twin in your family? She will tell you no. Somebody in my family once had twin. That's why she had twin. So if it's not in your line, that twin thing is a special thing. There's no medicine for it. There's no injection to make you give birth to twin. It must be in your lineage. Then in your line you produce twins and the thing comes. Naturally. Twins, triplet, quadruplet, or whatever you call it. Hello? Yes, that's the way it is now. But apart from this one that is even just carnal, natural knowledge, there's divine knowledge. The knowledge of your heavenly ancestry. Knowledge of your heavenly ancestry. You should know it. That there are things that are associated with where we are coming from. If I come from God, if God manufactured me, if God created me, that means God has a design, God has a purpose specified for me. And I cannot leave anything outside that purpose. God can't make me a microphone and I'm struggling to be a telephone. God can't make me a speaker and I'm struggling to be a banner. He can't make me a laptop and I'm struggling to be a wall clock. All your struggles is because you do not know who you are. That's where the problem, that's where the genesis of your wahala is coming from. Your confusion, frustration, helter-skelter, running up and down is because you have no knowledge of who you are. Somebody told me something. He said, sir, they gave me admission in 2 universities. He said, UNN offered me admission. He now said, another university, I don't know whether it is IMSU or something, I don't know the university. He said, 2 universities, and I came out on the merit list to study architecture. He said, but I'm cancelling both. I said, why would you want to take that kind of risk? Is it because I'm reviewing my school all over again? He said, I'm cancelling both. I want to get admission in university near to you. He said, so I'm going to take another 1 year to go and do the thing again. He said, because I can't imagine myself in school doing what, Kwano, without purpose. He said, so I'm cancelling the 2 of them. I'm going to take another jam or another whatever and get admission all over again. But this time I'm thinking of this university here or this other one there that is close by, because I can't be far. I need to stay close and take this opportunity that God has given me to develop myself for my assignments. You now see knowledge of who the guy is now determining the choices he makes. They gave somebody admission to read whatever, architecture in UNN. He said, to hell, let it wait. He said, I'm now seeing what priority really is to me. That's a man who is now understanding kingdom values, he knows what his calling now is. He knows this is my assignment, this is my purpose, this is what I'm born for. So you put purpose first, even before education. For those of you who don't know, you go and put education first before purpose. You finish your school, you'll be a confused graduate. An aimless graduate. Is first the discovery of your purpose. When you discover your purpose, it even determines what you read and how you read it. So you'll be reading architecture in school, but this time you're not reading it for just reading to come and be. You're now reading intentionally. How do I design churches? Because I'm now in school to read architecture for the kingdom. How do I now use my architectural skills as a minister, as a pastor I am in training? How will I use it after 5 years of reading the course to now design estates for ministry? Design hotels, because we're going to be bringing people from all over the world for camp meetings and all our programs and conventions and all that. They will need hostels to lodge. You now follow me to Sisters Fellowship as an architect. We go there for a program. As you're looking, last time I went there, I was wowed. You see the big conference hall they have. You go all over the place. What they developed there is amazing. Hostels. Even with all the more than 30,000 people were there were a lot of vacant hotels. And everybody was living inside there. But a lot of vacant hotels. Then there was this pavilion, open field. If you see the stadium inside. And all kinds of things they are building there. That's a dream. That's a vision. That's, So you go there as an architect. You start seeing differently. Why another architect is in school thinking about to graduate, carry CV and look for where to get a job. You already have one. Thinking of how to work in one company, how to design some mushroom and all that, make some little pay. Thinking of what to, As much as it's good to find something to do, also find something to live for. Purpose is finding what to live for. Career is finding what to do. Career is simply finding what to do. But purpose is now the discovery and then the deployment, development, the deployment, the practice of what you're here to do. Live what you're living for. Such a person now can begin to get inspired when he sees such a facility. It's okay for this ministry. How do I now begin to build, design? A whole campground that will have all these facilities inside. That's a kingdom dream now. And it's bigger than anything you can think about. You develop something like that. We bring all the nations to come and say, governors will come and say, which will design this thing? He says, it's actually a pastor. He says, can you design our new government house? But the trainings that you would get to become such a person is in twofold. One, there's a secular training that would train you to be the architect. But the other one, which is the main one, is this one you're doing now, which is that knowledge, give you that knowledge and training of your person, of who you are. That's the one that now guides you to make the right decisions, even when you are being trained on how to do that, whatever. Are we making sense in this house? You now see how origin works. First is knowledge of who God is. When you find God, you will find yourself. You are not finding any yourself or outside God. Once you find God, you will find yourself. Where does chicks come from? From inside the mother hen now, but wrapped up in a shell. Is that correct? You see, Trinity principle. It's simple. You are in Jesus. Jesus is in God. Simple. The mother hen gives birth to eggs. The chick is inside the egg as water. The mother hen sits on the chick, on the eggs, incubates there for a period of 21 days. When he now hatches that egg, what comes out of it is what? Is chicks. Small chicks. The same thing goes for how a woman gives birth. When the mother hen has sat on the egg, what will come out of the egg is what? A type of the hen. It won't be alligator. When you have found yourself in God enough and incubated in God, when God gives birth to you, what he gives birth to is not a confused job seeker. What he gives birth to now is another like him, who will do the same thing God is doing. Some of you know the dimension of your birth that comes from your father and your mother. Have you undergone that cycle of incubation with God? 9 months in your mother's womb. There's also 9 months in God's womb. 9 months in your mother's womb. There's also a season of incubating in God's womb. Lord, help us teach this generation to know you. Help me. Help me. Too many ignorant Christians in our churches. They are singing the Lord's song, lifting up hands, but God is saying, these people don't know me. And if they don't know me, they can't find who they really are. They can't know themselves. These people don't know me. Knowledge of principles is the third one. This is still under knowledge. Knowing face. Knowledge of principles. Okay, number 2 is being. There's knowing, there is being. Being. What is being? Thank you. Being is the molding of your person to conform to the knowledge of who you are. Because you can know that you are a medical doctor and be behaving like a wheelbarrow pusher. Yeah, it's still possible to know that you are a global leader but behaving like a local champion. Being is now the molding. That's where you mold the person, the character of that person, the behavior of that person, the attitude of that person, to now match up now with the knowledge of who he is. So let me give you an illustration. Come. You have now discovered and now gained knowledge of the fact that you're going to be, I'm looking for something that is so powerful. You're going to be the first female Nigerian to own airlines, to own fleet of airlines. You know, prophecies are always sweet. Who give prophecy, you're going to own fleet of air. Hey! Amen. Oh, hallelujah. This is what pastor said about me. I've heard prophecy. If you see the ones my pastor gives to me, I should have been in my house sleeping every day and drinking tea. The Bible says, put to use the gift of God that you receive by the laying of hands. He said, put them to use. He says, steal the gift of God that is in you, that you receive by the laying on of what? Hands. That you received gifts by laying of hands doesn't mean you should go home and go and sleep. He says you should put them to use. You should use them, steer them. Laying of hands is conferment of responsibility. Prophecy is conferment of responsibility. When I tell you, I see you in the next few years, you're going to fly the world. You're going to change people. Multitudes are coming. Don't be shouting amen and rejoicing and dancing. Be crying. Because what it means is that we are jolting you now to a level of responsibility. A new level of responsibility is going to come with all kinds of painstaking processes. So you come and tell me, Pastor, you're going to be a global pastor. You're going to pastor different nations. You're going to have thousands of churches all over the world, if not running into millions. And you want me to be dancing. What is there to dance for? As good as I could dance and celebrate and then be happy, I'll be crying also. Because what you have done to me is to confer heavy responsibility on me. The government shall be on their shoulders. Responsibility is on my shoulders now. He says, unto us a child is born. Unto us what? A son is given. And what will happen? The government shall be on his shoulders. So when they call you, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased, understand that the next place they will drive you to is wilderness. Oh, you don't know? After Jesus was baptized, the heavens opened. And a dove came down and sat on his head. And a voice from heaven shouted, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. And I said, hear ye him. I thought the man should have just gone from there. All of you, they say you should hear me. So let's talk. No. The Bible says, and when he came out from the waters, right away, not the next day, right away, the Spirit of God led him into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. He had to pass the wilderness school. And after he had fasted 40 days, 40 nights, solid, the Bible says he was hungry. Then the tempter came. But if you finish reading that scripture and go down, you will see that the manifestation of Jesus' ministry, the exploit of his ministry, began the moment he was able to go through that circle of temptation, prayers and fasting. The Bible says, and his fame spread abroad. Multitude of people followed him everywhere. He began to heal the sick. He began to do all manner of miracles from here and there. So you see that there was conferment of prophecy on him. But that prophecy will not come to pass with irresponsibility. You need to now attach responsibility to that prophecy for it to come to pass. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? So if I tell this lady now, she's going to be a multi-billionaire. She's going to have fleet of airlines like Air Peace or Virgin Atlantic. She's going to have those kind of, heavy airlines everywhere in the world. The usual thing is for her to be happy. And maybe come and carry 29 and put inside the offering box. That's the usual thing to do. Religion. But what she doesn't know is that I've put a yoke on her. That thing I said to her should take sleep out of her eyes. That thing I said to her should now mold her into a different kind of person. So let me ask you now. Get me the mic. One mic. Quickly. Fast. I want people to respond like army or soldier men here. Give it to her. Give it to her quickly. I want to hear what she would tell me. Are you now seeing why we call this vision conference? Hello? I'm saying it to you, it's too early to sleep. Oh. This is only 11 o'clock or 5 minutes to 11. It's too early to be asleep. You have no future if that's how you're behaving. It's too early to be bored. Too early. Gone are those days where fine girl is capital for marriage. Gone are those days. If you don't want to lose your husband early, not to death, to another woman, wake up now. Gone are those days of makeups. You can attract a man with it if you deceive him enough for a few whatever and he gets married to you and the real thing in you shows. Be sure you lose him in that house.
For the continuation of this message, please play the next track.